Hi, I'm Chris Shelton coming to you live from Hollywood, California with my good friend here, Hollywood physique expert Eric the Trainer, here on the set of our friend Jay Mendez for his TV show, Hollywood Real. And what's really cool about that is Hollywood Real, REAL, which goes along the lines of the topic that we've been talking about this whole past month is, we're talking about healthy relationships and just kind of a little recap of what I've done for the month of February, the month of love, is is to talk about healthy relationships and healthy boundaries. And we talked about, for example, relationships, the parent-child relationship, how sometimes, a lot of times, those become dysfunctional, or just the family dynamic in and of itself. I've talked about, like the work environment. We talked about also about my secret bully, like when you have a friend that acts like a friend behind closed doors, but then when you're out on the street or out in public, all of a sudden is making fun of you, putting you down, belittling you, or doing things to try to take advantage. So what we've done is we've given tools for people to be able to help to recognize this and help to offset it, but also people that are what we call as bucket dippers. The people that just want to dip into your bucket, they don't give you much in return. And then what can you do to put a lid on that bucket? But as we're wrapping up for the month of February here, I thought it'd be really, really cool because you're an amazing person. And one of the things I love about you, Eric, is that Eric is, for those of you that don't know him, Eric is genuine. If Eric offers to do something for you, offers advice or anything, it comes strictly from the heart, and there's no expectation of anything else in return. It's just out of pure, like he really just wants to help. So I thought it'd be important for us to discuss what, as caretakers, because you're obviously in the physical fitness realm,
Right.
me coming from the internal side, what do you do in order to help to take care of yourself while taking care of others? And what are some of the things that you do to get to know yourself better that you have done?
Well, thank you, Chris, and thank you for joining us on this broadcast. As someone who's on a mission that's much bigger than himself, I feel like every morning that I wake up, I need to jump out of bed and find a way to help others. By definition, a personal trainer, personal trainer goes a long way, meaning we try to fit the workouts, the diet plan, the recovery program specifically to the person. And it's a very individual thing. I mean, we've had such a diverse clientele in my career. We've had everyone from religious leaders that want to go to Africa and carry water across the tundra for 5 miles. That's why they're getting into shape. And of course, 80 to 90% of our clients are in show business. They're actors getting ready for a specific role. And we really have to transform them into that person they want to be so that when you see them on screen, it's believable. So it does take a lot of effort. I mean, you and I, we put out a lot of energy, and that energy has to be filled up at the end of the day or we go hollow. And that's a terrible feeling. It's funny because one of my missions is not only to help people look phenomenal, but also to make them feel great too. But I can tell you that if there are things going on in my life that are upsetting or where I'm stressed, it's hard for me to give that energy, that positive energy to others. So I have to take good care of myself.
Yeah, that's really important to take care of ourselves. And I've been guilty of this myself. I love helping people. I love, I could be at the airport and if I see somebody walk around like this, I want to go over and
Strangle them.
That's only if they don't pay me. No.
Exactly. You must die. Just kidding. Hey, before you get on the plane, you mind if I kill you?
Right. But anywhere I go, I have this, just this. Because I love what I do so much. It's like what you do. Being people in the industry of service. A lot of people don't understand is that it's a sacrifice, and we've had different practitioners that have come through our practice, my practice in San Jose Morning Crane, and a lot of people will come in and say, I want to do what you do. I want to heal people. I want to help the world.
Right.
But at the same time, too, they're really not willing to sacrifice themselves to give back.
Right.
But there has to be a line to where you have to say, okay, well, I'm depleting myself. And what are some of the methods that I can do in order to give back to myself? I mean, we have all these tools. That's a cool thing about what we do, right? We have all these tools.
It's funny because each day I say to people again and again, the 3 things that change you, the very science of change is exercise, diet, and sleep. And so for us, as people that take care of others, we have to exercise every day. We have to eat a healthy diet so we have the energy from nutrient-dense foods to power our desire to help others. And we need to get good sleep at night, because if we're exhausted, we're really no good to these people that come to us for assistance. But there is something that's missing. I say exercise, diet, and sleep, and that is the science of change. But I need something additionally, and I think all of you need something additionally, and that is love. So I really should be saying exercise, diet, sleep, and love, because I can tell you when I spend time with people that I love, whether they're friends or family or colleagues who are also friends, when I feel that love at the end of the day, or when I'm out having fun, it really gives me the supercharged energy to apply my knowledge base to help others every single day. So here in the month of February, it's not just exercise, diet, sleep. It's exercise, it's diet, it's sleep, and it's also spending time with people that you love and that love you and that want to see you thrive, and being around that positive energy. Because as Chris mentioned, that negative energy, those people that take from you and don't give back, it can really be a drag.
Seriously. Yeah, it could really be a drag. And and what people don't realize, it could actually affect your health too. And when we come down to it, if you're trying to take care of yourself, and one of the things that Eric said is getting proper sleep. Well, if family, especially family dynamics, I think are the worst. Where because you're born into the family, people think, oh well, I'm obligated, or they owe something to the family, or the family puts that kind of guilt onto them, and that could cause eating disorders. That could cause sleep disorders.
Right.
And so if you are trying to get this best body that you possibly have, the influence of other people, if they don't fill your bucket,
Right.
then they could actually draw from you and actually contribute to the process of disease. The very thing that we're trying to help people eliminate, right?
Right. A positive attitude goes a long way. And also reaching out to help someone or sharing what you have with them, it makes you feel good.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing, even though I've been doing this now for 18 years and studying for 26 years, I never get tired of seeing the transformation. I'm still shocked. Like when people come in and they feel better, I'm like, wow, that really worked.
Golly gee. Jeez.
Yeah. But I think that that kind of enthusiasm and not just taking things for granted, and I watch you all the time in the gym, is that kind of enthusiasm, that kind of love that you share with one another. I think that never gets old, and as long as you have that, I think that the people that we service, I think that they get the benefit of that.
I think you're right, and actually I think what Chris is actually hinting at is finding your passion. Finding something that you actually love to do that doesn't seem like a job, but something that seems exciting, that seems fun, that you're excited about, and something hopefully that's bigger than just you. Because I can tell you the mission that I feel like I'm on to make the world better started way back with my mentor, Jack LaLanne, and he worked his whole life. He had a TV show, he pulled boats as he swam, handcuffed. He did all these crazy, amazing events to raise awareness of health and fitness his entire life. And I feel like at the end of his life, he said to me, I've worked hard, I'm an older man, will you continue this mission? And I was like, you got it, man. And there was no guitar there. And so I feel like I'm on a mission that's much bigger than myself. Sometimes people can get overwhelmed with all of the things that come with a busy life. I mean, you have appointments, you have obligations, you have financial commitments. There's a lot to deal with, and it can really stress you out. However, if you see life in a different way, that you are on a mission for something bigger and grander than just you, then suddenly all of those little things that would stress you out become bricks in a wall, and that wall is powerful and that wall is positive. I mean, it can be big things like, for example, next week I'm flying to Atlantic City, working with the American Culinary Federation. I'm going to train all of those chefs on the boardwalk, and I'm doing that for free. I'm a volunteer. I'm taking my time and helping them because I care about chefs. I think chefs are artists. Right. I think they're the culinary artists of our time, and I think behind every chef is a million mouths that they're going to feed this year. So if I can make that chef a little healthier, a little bit happier, a skip in his step or her step, I think it goes a long way. So I go out of my way to try to help people, and I know you do also. It can be something as big as that, or it can be something as small as when I was at the Super Bowl in Atlanta just a couple of weeks ago. We were with UFC champion Tyron Woodley, and we were shooting a little TV segment, and he was starving to death. And he kind of nodded at me. He's like, I'm starving to death. Well, guess what? I had a Quest bar in my bag, and I only had one, and it was for me. But I gave Tyron Woodley my last Quest bar, and it was waffle flavor, which is one of my favorites. And the look in his eye was so grateful. There was so much gratitude there. And I'll tell you, man, when you share things with others, it just makes you feel good.
Yeah, it makes you feel good, and bringing it back to ourselves on what can we do, having the relationship with ourselves. And one of the things that you just mentioned there, I believe that there's 5 healths. There's your physical health, there's your mental, emotional health.
Wait, let me illustrate one. Physical, mental, emotional.
Your relationship health,
Yeah,
right?
I love you.
Your relationship health, your financial health.
Yep.
And then, what you're talking about here is what they say is your career health, which is also your spiritual health.
Right.
I heard a Dr. Mao Xing here in Los Angeles, California, who runs Yosan University. He said about us, we were at a workshop with him, and he said, before you come into this life form on this planet, you sign a contract with heaven that you are to find your life purpose. Because when you find your life purpose, then that's how God or the universe manifests itself through you. And I thought it was a really profound statement, because how many of us out there are doing tasks where we dread going into work the next day? I mean, I used to be there. I was a butcher for 21 years. So
No
talk
way.
about chefs, right?
This guy was a butcher. My real last name is Fleischmann, which means meat man in German. I'm a butcher. You're a butcher. Are you a butcher also?
You could be a butcher too.
Exactly.
That was really an unfulfilling career for me. And so now doing what I do now, having this life purpose, I think is of utmost importance, and being able to share that with the world. Right. And it could be something, and for everybody's life purpose is different.
Right.
It doesn't have to be being on TV. It doesn't have to be serving thousands and thousands of people.
Right.
It could be something as simple as, let's say you're a tow truck driver and you really enjoy being a tow truck driver, and this was your life passion. Whatever it is, but finding that life purpose, I think, also gives back to your physical, your mental, emotional, and your relationship health also. I think it's really important to have that life purpose.
Absolutely. So Chris, I have a question. If someone's watching this and they think to themselves, I'd like to have a life where I help others, but I sit at a cubicle every day doing data entry, what steps can they take to change their lives today?
Well, one of the steps that they could take is that we have an online Qigong teacher training program. And for those of you that might be new to Qigong is actually the foundation of acupuncture and Chinese medicine. It's also the foundation of Tai Chi.
Cool.
And the purpose of it, first and foremost, is to empower people